In an era where comedy has become a staple of American culture, few shows have made as lasting an impact as Saturday Night Live (SNL). Celebrating its 50th anniversary, the iconic late-night sketch show has not only entertained millions but has also mirrored the societal shifts and cultural milestones of the past 5 decades. As the program embarks on this milestone, it serves as a poignant reminder of its role in shaping the comedy landscape and launching the careers of numerous comedic talents. The journey of SNL began on October 11, 1975, when it first aired, introducing a format that combined sketch comedy with musical performances and satirical news. Over the years, it has evolved, adapting to the changing tastes of its audience while maintaining its core mission, to offer a humorous take on current events. In a recent article for the New York Times, Jason Zinoman reflects on his personal connection to the show, noting that he was born just a week after its premiere. "Every cast represents a different era in my life," he writes, emphasizing the show's role in his own timeline. Zinoman details his experiences with various SNL eras, from the original cast featuring Chevy Chase and Jane Curtin to the more contemporary lineups that included Tina Fey and Bill Hader. This generational connection resonates with many fans who have enjoyed the show throughout their lives, often revisiting memorable sketches and characters that have become embedded in the cultural lexicon. The upcoming 50th anniversary special promises to celebrate this legacy by featuring a star-studded lineup including former cast members like Eddie Murphy and Will Ferrell, alongside musical guests such as Paul McCartney and Bad Bunny. The significance of SNL extends beyond mere entertainment; it has become a cultural institution. The show's ability to comment on political and social issues has kept it relevant even as it faces criticism for fluctuating quality. As Zinoman points out, teenagers rebel against their parents, and SNL fans eventually start rolling their eyes at the show, highlighting the cyclical nature of comedy appreciation. Despite this, SNL has consistently reinvented itself, demonstrating a resilience that few shows can claim. In recent years, the show's role as a cultural touchstone has been further examined through various retrospectives. The New York Times has highlighted SNL's most significant moments, from its 13 greatest ad parodies to its most impactful musical performances. Such analyses underscore the show's influence on both comedy and popular culture, showcasing its ability to adapt to the changing landscape of entertainment. However, as the milestone approaches, it raises questions about the future of SNL in a fragmented media world. The show has navigated shifts in viewership and competition from streaming platforms that offer on-demand content, posing challenges to its traditional live format. Yet the anticipation surrounding the anniversary special suggests that SNL remains a vital part of the American cultural fabric. As we celebrate this half-century achievement, the legacy of SNL is not merely in its iconic sketches or memorable characters, but in its capacity to reflect and influence the society that birthed it. With its enduring presence in television history, the show continues to foster new talent and engage audiences, ensuring its place in the annals of entertainment for years to come. As we look forward to the 50th anniversary special and beyond, one can only wonder how SNL will evolve and continue to resonate with future generations. In an era where personal and professional landscapes are increasingly intertwined, recent articles from the Washington Post shed light on various pressing issues that resonate deeply with readers. From familial anxiety affecting weddings to grave safety concerns in workplaces and even the current state of NASA under political scrutiny, these stories illustrate the complex interplay of emotions, safety, and policy in contemporary society. One poignant narrative explores the impact of anxiety on family dynamics, particularly during significant life events such as weddings. The column highlights how a husband's emotional struggles can reverberate through the lives of two sisters, creating tension and uncertainty as they approach their respective nuptials. The author emphasizes the delicate balance between supporting a loved one and maintaining personal joy during pivotal moments. When anxiety cuts deep into the fabric of family celebrations, it challenges the very essence of what these gatherings represent, the column states, urging readers to consider the emotional landscapes that accompany such joyous occasions. On a more serious note, another article addresses the alarming safety record of one of America's deadliest workplaces. Despite a history of incidents that raise significant red flags, safety regulators have been criticized for their inaction. The piece raises crucial questions about the efficacy of current safety protocols and the responsibilities of regulatory bodies to protect workers. With statistics indicating a troubling trend in workplace safety violations, the article argues for a re-evaluation of enforcement measures. Regulatory oversight must evolve to prevent further tragedies, it asserts, calling for a systemic change to ensure worker safety is prioritized over profit. Meanwhile, a lighter yet thought-provoking column connects culinary practices with broader life lessons. The author cleverly draws parallels between the preparation of a Spanish tortilla and the need for compromise and resilience in life. You have to break a lot of eggs to make a Spanish tortilla. Or do you? Poses the author, challenging readers to reconsider what it means to create something beautiful and meaningful. This whimsical exploration serves as a reminder that sometimes the process of creation requires us to embrace discomfort and change. In the realm of space exploration, the current administration's approach to NASA has sparked concerns about the agency's future. With essential meetings on hold and missions facing delays, the article discusses the potential implications for America's leadership in space. NASA's trajectory is at a crossroads, and the decisions made now will resonate for years to come, it warns, underscoring the importance of stable governance in advancing scientific endeavors. As the nation looks ahead, the uncertainty surrounding NASA's direction raises critical questions about the future of space exploration and innovation. As we navigate a world filled with both personal challenges and societal responsibilities, these stories from the Washington Post remind us that the interplay of individual experiences, workplace safety, culinary insights, and space exploration reflects the broader narrative of our times. The ongoing discourse surrounding these issues will undoubtedly shape future developments, prompting us to engage thoughtfully with the complexities of life in the 21st century. The evolving landscape of emotional well-being, safety regulations, culinary practices, and scientific exploration invites us to remain vigilant and proactive as we seek solutions to the challenges that lie ahead. In a rapidly evolving tech landscape, major players are contemplating significant changes that could reshape the industry. Recently, reports emerged indicating that Broadcom and Taiwan's semiconductor manufacturing company TSMC are exploring potential deals that could lead to a substantial restructuring of Intel, one of the most storied chip makers in the world. This development comes as Intel grapples with fierce competition and strategic challenges in a market that has increasingly favored more agile competitors. According to sources familiar with the discussions, both Broadcom and TSMC are weighing options that could involve splitting Intel into more manageable entities. Such a move could allow these companies to focus on specific segments of the semiconductor market, potentially enhancing operational efficiency and innovation. An insider noted the chip industry is at a crossroads, and companies are looking for strategic alliances that will enable them to leverage their strengths while mitigating risks associated with market volatility. Intel's struggles over the past few years have been well documented. Once the dominant force in the semiconductor space, the company has lost market share to rivals such as AMD and Nvidia, which have capitalized on Intel's delays in product development. The proposed deals by Broadcom and TSMC underscore a growing recognition within the industry that Intel may need to rethink its strategy to remain competitive. Broadcom, known for its expertise in networking and broadband chips, and TSMC, the world's largest contract chip manufacturer, could provide Intel with the necessary resources and expertise to revitalize its offerings. While the potential restructuring of Intel could have significant implications for the semiconductor market, it also raises questions about job security and the future of Intel's workforce. Analysts warn that any major restructuring could lead to layoffs as operations are streamlined. Furthermore, the success of such a deal would depend on regulatory approvals and the complexities involved in untangling Intel's extensive operations. In addition to Broadcom and TSMC's interest, other industry observers are closely monitoring the situation. The ongoing global chip shortage has heightened the importance of semiconductor manufacturing capabilities, making any shifts in market dynamics particularly consequential. If Broadcom and TSMC can successfully navigate this process, it could set a precedent for how we think about consolidation and collaboration in the chip industry, remarked a leading analyst in semiconductor trends. As the discussions progress, the tech world watches with bated breath. The implications of these potential deals could extend beyond Intel, influencing everything from supply chains to technological advancements across various sectors. Should these negotiations lead to a formal agreement, it may usher in a new era of innovation and competition in the semiconductor landscape. Looking ahead, the future of Intel and the broader chip market remains uncertain. Will these negotiations result in a revitalized Intel that can reclaim its status as a market leader, or will it further signal the decline of a once mighty giant? The coming months will be crucial as stakeholders weigh their options and consider the ramifications of these pivotal discussions. As the tech industry continues to evolve, one thing is clear: change is on the horizon, and it may redefine the semiconductor sector for years to come. As the geopolitical landscape continues to shift dramatically in Europe, the United States and Russia are gearing up for pivotal peace talks concerning Ukraine, leaving European leaders scrambling to assert their influence in a process that could redefine the continent's security framework. The urgency is palpable, with a critical meeting set to convene in Paris that will bring together key European figures to discuss strategies in response to negotiations initiated by U.S. President Donald Trump. The talks, set to begin in Saudi Arabia this week, will see Marco Rubio, Trump's Secretary of State, meet with Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. This meeting aims to establish a foundation for a future encounter between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. The decision to pursue peace talks, which has left many European leaders feeling sidelined, has raised the stakes for the continent's security architecture. Alexander Stubb, President of Finland, remarked on the potential seismic shifts occurring, stating, "This is the beginning of the beginning. Things are definitely moving." He underscored that since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine on February 24, 2022, the world order has been in flux, and the current negotiations could further influence this trajectory. In response to the looming U.S.-Russia dialogue, leaders from the United Kingdom, Poland, and the European Union will gather in Paris, invited by French President Emmanuel Macron. The agenda will focus on enhancing European defense capabilities independent of U.S. involvement, while simultaneously strategizing on how to bolster Ukraine's position in the negotiations. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer characterized this moment as once in a generation, highlighting its significance for national security. A Western official noted the urgency of the situation, stating, "All Europe must do is give Ukraine as much as possible so that it can better say no to things rammed down its throat by the US and Russia." The need for a united European front is evident, especially as Ukraine remains absent from the negotiation table, raising concerns about the absence of its voice in discussions that directly impact its future. Dmitry Peskov, Putin's spokesperson, framed the U.S. decision to engage in talks as a powerful signal of a commitment to dialogue rather than conflict. However, the exclusion of Ukraine from these discussions has been met with skepticism, emphasizing the necessity for European leaders to coordinate their responses and potentially deploy European troops as a reassurance force behind a future ceasefire line. Simultaneously, the U.S. has requested detailed proposals from European nations regarding arms, peacekeeping troops, and security arrangements they could offer to Ukraine post-conflict. This request is intended to gauge Europe's willingness to protect Kyiv and indicates a shift in U.S. strategy towards a more collaborative approach with its European allies. Mark Rutte, NATO's Secretary General, emphasized the importance of European nations organizing themselves to solidify their contributions to any future peacekeeping efforts. As these developments unfold, uncertainty looms over the effectiveness of U.S. engagement and the potential implications for European security. The intricate dynamics at play involving U.S. demands, European concerns, and the ambiguous role of Trump's negotiating team highlight the complexities of the situation. While some European leaders express a desire for a more substantial role in negotiations, others worry about their influence being diluted amid US-Russia talks. In this rapidly evolving landscape, the coming days will be crucial for European leaders as they navigate their responses to US initiatives while ensuring that their security interests are adequately represented. The outcome of the upcoming talks in Saudi Arabia could have significant repercussions not only for Ukraine but for the entire European continent, marking a critical juncture in the ongoing conflict and its broader geopolitical ramifications. As the world watches closely, the ability of European nations to assert their influence will be tested, setting the stage for future developments in this high-stakes diplomatic arena. In an era marked by increasingly severe climate-related disasters, the urgency for community preparedness has never been more pronounced. This reality hit home for Audrey Gray in Los Angeles, who recounts her experience of taking part in a community emergency response team CERT training just months before wildfires ravaged her neighborhood. Gray, along with her neighbor Kelly McIntosh, decided to enroll in CERT training, a federally supported program designed to equip volunteers with essential skills for disaster preparedness and response. The training included practical exercises such as using a fire extinguisher and managing emergency supplies, aimed at empowering civilians to assist themselves and their neighbors during crises. As Gray reflects on their decision to participate, she notes, "Our desire for some sense of agency or usefulness as more climate-intensified disasters hit took precedence." The training proved timely. On January 7, 2025, as smoke filled the skies over Santa Monica, Gray's newfound skills were put to the test. In the face of rapidly spreading fires, she and her neighbors sprang into action, coordinating evacuations and assisting one another. "We didn't feel safe from the fires exactly, but we felt like we had each other's back," McIntosh shared, highlighting the sense of community that emerged amid chaos. The wildfires affecting Los Angeles were not isolated incidents but part of a broader trend of climate-driven disasters that have escalated in frequency and intensity. In the past 2 years alone, the United States has witnessed over $50 billion disasters, a stark contrast to just 33 such events throughout the entire decade of the 1980s. As climate change continues to reshape the landscape of disaster response, experts are increasingly advocating for community-led initiatives like CERT. Kostas Sinalakis, a civil engineering professor at the University of Southern California, emphasizes the importance of training volunteers who are familiar with their neighborhoods, stating, "In post-fire emergency response, you need trained volunteers who already know the neighborhood." However, challenges remain. While CERT is shown to be effective, its reach is limited by factors such as funding and public awareness. Samantha Montano, an emergency management professor, points out that many people remain unaware of the program and its benefits. Moreover, the reliance on community organizations raises questions about the capacity of local systems to cope with the growing demands of disaster response. Despite these limitations, the resilience demonstrated by Gray McIntosh and their neighbors underscores the vital role of grassroots efforts in times of crisis. Their experiences serve as a reminder that in a world increasingly defined by uncertainty, local organizing can provide a lifeline when institutional support may be lacking. As Gray concludes, "Having lived through the last month in LA, I can tell you that local organizing helped me and my neighbors cope in ways that may never show up in budgets or studies." As climate events continue to unfold, the need for proactive community engagement and preparedness will only intensify. The lessons learned from this recent wildfire season may inspire a broader movement toward disaster readiness, emphasizing the importance of neighborly support in facing the challenges ahead. The future may still hold uncertainty, but with the right training and community spirit, individuals can navigate these tumultuous waters together. In a landmark moment for American television, Saturday Night Live SNL celebrates its 50th anniversary, marking not only half a century of comedic innovation but also a reflection on the cultural evolution of the nation. Jason Zinoman, the comedy columnist for the New York Times, poignantly ties his own life milestones to the show's journey, revealing how SNL has been a consistent soundtrack to the rhythms of his existence. "Like Saturday Night Live, I turned 50 this year," Zinoman writes. emphasizing the show's role as a cultural touchstone since its debut in 1975. The premiere of SNL coincided with a transformative era in television, one that moved away from traditional formats to embrace a more audacious and irreverent style of comedy. The original cast, featuring iconic figures such as Chevy Chase and Jane Curtin, quickly set the tone for a show that would challenge societal norms and push the boundaries of humor. Zinoman recalls how even in his early years the show's catchphrases and sketches permeated his household, shaping his comedic sensibilities. As the years progressed, SNL became a launching pad for numerous comedians who would go on to shape the industry. Zinoman recounts his own journey as a viewer, noting how he became captivated during the show's infamous seasons featuring Billy Crystal and Christopher Guest. Transitioning through eras that included stand-up performances by Phil Hartman and the Tina Fey-led ensemble. Each generation of cast members has left an indelible mark, contributing to the show's enduring legacy. The 50th anniversary special promises to be a star-studded affair, featuring beloved past cast members such as Eddie Murphy and Bill Murray alongside contemporary icons like Kim Kardashian and Dave Chappelle. The special will not only celebrate the show's history but also its ability to adapt to the changing cultural landscape. With a viewership that peaked at over 26 million during its 40th anniversary special, the anticipation for this event is palpable, signaling the continued relevance of SNL in today's media ecosystem. Zinoman highlights the unique place SNL occupies in American culture, describing it as one of the last vestiges of the monoculture, a unifying force that has consistently reflected and critiqued societal issues through humor. The show's format, particularly the Weekend Updates segment, has launched the careers of many comedians and has often stirred public discourse, navigating the fine line between comedy and political commentary. SNL has been a mirror to the nation's psyche, capturing the zeitgeist through its sketches and parodies, from the absurdity of political figures to the complexities of everyday life. As SNL embarks on its next chapter, the anticipation for what lies ahead remains high. With its ability to reinvent itself while maintaining the essence of sketch comedy, the show is poised to continue influencing future generations of comedians and audiences alike. This anniversary not only marks a significant milestone for the show but also invites viewers to reflect on how humor has shaped their own lives amidst the backdrop of American history. As Zinoman aptly concludes, the celebration of SNL is not merely about the past but about what it will continue to contribute to the cultural and comedic landscape of the future.